Bucky's value is going
Stock on the rise.
up by the day, by the hour, and you're going to have to pay a higher price tag in August because the train, it's getting full, but not everybody's on board yet. The Bucky train that we conduct here on this channel. And Rachaad White news breaking yesterday that's kind of odd. You wonder where it's coming from. Rachaad White suggesting that 2025 will be his last season in Tampa. Where's that coming from? I can tell you where it's coming from. He doesn't like the way the pecking order is shaping out. He doesn't like the look of the potential volume share in 2025. Bucky's going to be a workhorse. Bucky has top 5 running back capability. The Fantasy Football Show, late night live stream. We're live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday through Friday. But we also go live around midnight Eastern. We're about an hour early tonight. Every single night we pretty much go live around midnight Eastern, especially during the year. So you found your new home. Oh, did I mention we also go live whenever news breaks on additional live streams? Yeah.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
Live when news breaks. And this is not anything widespread, but your boy's picking up on it. I'm sniffing out the scent. I know what to look for. And right now, this has signs of trouble waters. If you're not Bucky Irving in Tampa, looking for a lion's share of work, looking for a meal. This guy's going to get a full course meal every single Sunday. Why else would Rachaad White be hinting that he's done in Tampa? I'm done in Tampa. This is my last season in Tampa. One last ride, he said. Well, clearly he knows that there's no place for him in this backfield. This is the look of a man that's about to run for top 5, 6. We'll give him 5 to 6. We'll give him a little range. 4 to 7 if you want. You want to give him 4? That's fine. We'll give him 6 or 7. We'll give him a nice little healthy range of 4 to 7 type running back numbers in 2025. I love Bucky. You guys know how much we love Bucky around these parts. You know, we've got this Bucky profile board we can put up here. And the guy was he was top 5 in yards after contact per attempt. He was top 5 in forced missed tackles. His running back percentage was 41. His running back snap percentage was 41. Yet he accomplished all of this. Imagine when he gets more volume. Or imagine when he gets a full year of workload. He was 4th in yards per carry. He was in red zone targets 10th in the league. And yet he was getting 41% of the running back snap share. Rushing yards, he was 10th in the league. And he was getting 41% of the running back snap share in 2025. Fantasy points, 12, 20-plus yard runs, 8. And again, not playing the whole year, not getting all of the volume. He was in 30-plus yard runs, 3rd in the NFL. 40-plus yard runs, 7th in the NFL. 50-plus yard runs, 6th in the NFL. Top 5 running back 2025. You got to ask yourself if that is a can't-miss player sitting there on screen. Because when I look at it, I say to myself, glory. Glory. I say, Bucky bath time, baby.
Get buckied. Buckied.
Buckied.
And this shirt, if you want it, is linked in the description of the video. It's like the 3rd item down. It says Bucky shirt. Go get your Bucky shirt. Get buckied in that emoji. Can I get some get buckied emojis in the chat right now? I love that we're going to see a lot of doubters on this front still. Because where's doubt driven and derived from in fantasy football? About 90% of it. I mean, 10-20% of it probably is just moronic takes. You know, people that don't know football. They don't know ball. But I would say a majority of hate on a player, like the hatred, the negative takes that you see. Not that everybody doesn't get it wrong or right, or that there's a big portion of divide. But I'm saying when you see someone actually taking the time to write something negative about a player, 20% of that, maybe 30 is actually a bad take. Someone just doesn't understand football. But the other percentage, the greater percentage, call it nearly 70%, is out of either jealousy that they missed out on the player last year, and there's some form of doubling down, a double down Donnie, we call them, where they just don't want to admit they were wrong last year. So it's easier, instead of saying, well, this is embarrassing, I might not know breakout running backs, or at least I feel like people are going to judge me for not knowing breakout running backs if I admit I was wrong on Bucky last year. That's what someone's going to think, right? And people don't like that. So people just double down. Donnies will double down and say, well, if he didn't break at the end of the year there, he's going to break this year. Or they're not going to give him enough carries. But double down Donnies, they got it wrong. They got it wrong. It's more uncomfortable to admit that and admit that they didn't see it coming than to just double down and shovel a bunch of dirt onto this thing. Let's try and bury it or dig a deeper hole. That's what double down Donnies are doing in this case. We got 2 super chats. MJ says, Smitty, Hendy at the 1.3 or trade 1.3 for Bucky. Bucky, if you throw Bucky into the 2025 rookie-only draft, I'm taking him at number 2 overall. I'm taking Genty, then Bucky. I'm taking Bucky over Hunter. I'm taking Bucky over Harvey, who I quietly like as maybe the 2nd or 3rd best rookie in the entire rookie class. You heard me right. I don't care if he's 24. He's old enough to date your mom. So how can you have a problem with him being 24? So 1.3 or Bucky. Give me Bucky all day long.
You've just been Smitty approved.
Who would not be happy? Never mind, I won't go there. I won't go there. Wes with the super. What's up? Been here listening. Best show in the biz. Call me during the day. Call me during the day. The 3M calls asking me what I'm wearing is not needed. Bucky, I don't know what you're talking about. Wes, this is your first super chat since you disappeared for a while, and I still don't understand it. Appreciate you, Bucky. Let's freaking go. Now that I understand, Wes. Bucky, let's go. That I understand.
Let's go, mashed potatoes.
Yeah, buddy.
The rest of your message makes no sense. Zerb, appreciate you. Can you compare Myers, Debo, Sutton, PPR, please? Can I compare or can I rank them? I don't want to compare anything. I want to say, give me Debo. And I don't want to say Sutton's not right there with him, but he's under him. And then it's a tier break. And then there's Myers downstream. I'm not as big of a fan of Myers. And you've seen a lot of Myers truthers disappear since they brought in Besh. And who knows what that passing game's gonna look like beyond getting Brock Bowers as many catches as possible. Short ones, medium route runs. This guy's going to be all over the field, so expect it to be a Brock Bowers show, and then a little bit left for Besh and Myers. I think they both are similar, and then it's all Genty, baby. It's Genty. Genty's going to get so much work in this offense. And when people say, I don't think that this offense will be better, so I can't support drafting Genty early, Smitty. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. I just can't see it being a good offense, Smitty. They're going to run the ball so much, and this 5-yard per carry running back is going to eat. What if he gets 270 carries? 270 carries times 5 yards of carries, 1,350. Genty's going to have 1,600 total yards. He'll have 300 plus receiving. He'll have 40 plus receptions. He'll have 15 plus total touchdowns. Genty could be running back 1 as a rookie in all of fantasy. He could beat out every RB. Now I rank Bijan and Gibbs higher, and then I got Genty right there with Barkley and the crew that's right there. But Genty's right there at my 3, tied for 3rd, right there at 3rd, ahead of everybody at 3rd. But it is Gibbs and Bijan. They're safer, but dynasty-wise, you could argue Genty 1 overall the wide receivers if you wanted to. back on track here. Sutton is really close to Debo. Debo is happy. Debo is trimmed down. Debo is motivated. He's rejuvenated. I don't want to hear anything about Debo is bad. He's been banged up lately. He's in a new situation where he's been reset and revived, just like George Pickens. George Pickens and Debo, the biggest negatives that they had were they were unhappy and they were not in the best headspace. Debo has almost no red flags except for injury versus having multiple red flags, including situation, timeshare, all that stuff, misusage, getting run into the ground, getting injured based on the types of plays in the offense that Shanahan runs. Look, it's no coincidence that all the running backs get hurt in Kyle Shanahan's offense. It's the offense, it's his style. It's the matchups that his system puts these players in. They get mismatched because of all the movement. The pre-snap movements create a lot of mismatches, and you get clobbered. And so that's why these running backs keep getting injured. It's not because it's dumb luck. It's the Shanahan offense, and it's a great offense, and it runs players into the ground, but it does great for fantasy. But Debo's going to the mother freaking moon this year. You can get on board, not get on board. I don't really care. I'll beat a dead horse on the topic. Debo to the moon.
To the moon.
You don't want to believe in it? You want to pretend, or maybe you haven't seen any of my content, not you, Zerb, but anybody about to rag on Debo, do whatever you want. I speak about it all the time. So you don't have the information on it, and you're just going to act like, why are we drafting Debo? Go watch a show. Go watch one of the shows where we talk about Debo over and over and over. Go check out is it Moon Men or Mars Men?
He's on a shuttle to Mars.
Is it
The Saturn Men.
Is it where?
The Moon Men.
There it is.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Yeah, back in March. But Debo's gonna get hurt, Smitty. Turbo. So last year I drafted running back. I'm planning on doing it again. Don't draft running back, Turbo. Draft the best player available. It might be running back. But don't plan on going RB, or wide receiver, or cementing in what in the hell you're doing, Turbo. That's how you leave meat on the bone, bro. You go raw RB. If it falls right, you plan for all these strategies so you can nail them all, but you're taking best player available. It works when it lands perfectly, and it probably did last year. But don't force RB. Take it if it's there. I'm planning on doing it again this year, but I would be better to draft someone like Bowers in the second. It wouldn't be better to do anything, Bowers. You've got to go best player available. Bowers can certainly be the second best player that you, the second drafted player you take because they're best player available. It depends on who's on the board when you're on the clock. You don't plan any of this out, bro. Think of it like a chessboard. You don't say, okay, you shake your opponent's hand. Let's go. Let's have a game, okay? You start the game. You each move a pawn. And then all of a sudden you go, well, I'm going to take my queen and put it in the middle of the board now because I think that's what I'm going to plan to do, all together from the jump. When you don't know where the pieces are going to be. You can't put your queen in the middle of the board. You can't plan 8 moves ahead and then execute it on before the 7th move gets there. You can plan, but you can't execute ahead. Trying to go RB or locking Bowers in, that is not planning 2, 3, 4 moves ahead. That is locking in 3, 4 moves ahead. That is a ridiculous way to approach it. And I'm only yelling so that you remember it. It's not that I'm mad at you, Turbo, but don't do that. Don't even think about it. Now, if you end up falling, and you can practice a draft slot where you're like, okay, at 8, I really like going RB. It's a very running back hungry community. I know I can get Garrett Wilson, MHJ with a Debo, one of Garrett Wilson or MHJ. Maybe you can get JSN in round 4 in a best ball draft tonight. I just got JSN in round 4. I couldn't believe my eyes. I took Garrett Wilson at 3. I took JSN in 4. I went running back. But it felt to me, Turbo. It felt to me. Be prepared to do it. Don't expect to do it. Bucky to the moon, ladies and gentlemen. There's just no way around it. There's no way around it. This is a monster. This is a player that knows how to drop absolutely without a hesitation top 5 running back numbers during any given week. And if you look at this man's game log, and this is where it's real important. If you're going to walk away with anything, you have to remember this right here. He's not getting starter touches all the way through week 9. And he started to flirt with them in weeks 10 and 11, but wasn't really even truly getting that work. He's just so damn efficient. He's scoring a touchdown on 49 yards with 10 carries. He's scoring a touchdown on 14 carries. That was a nice bit of workload there, 5.7 a pop. He scores a touchdown on 9 carries. And 13 and 12 is nice, and you see this volume. The volume, when the volume increases, he delivers 73 yards and a touchdown. 5.62 yards per carry. 12 carries, 88 yards, 7.33 a carry, 1 touchdown. This is the only time frame where he became a starter. And yet he is, in all these categories, 10th in targets in red zone. Rushing yards, he was 10th in the league. He only started, really technically speaking, from 13 to week 18. He was in 20-plus yard runs. He was 8 overall. How are you 8 overall when you only start weeks 13 through 18? How do you have 3rd and 30-plus yard runs? This is a guy that exploded. Look at this damn log. 12 paws, 12 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. 25 carries, 152 and a touchdown. 4 carries. 3 carries. I forget if he got 4 carries for 3 yards. I forget if he got banged up in this game briefly. I want to say he did. Comes back 15 carries, 117. 16 carries, 68 and a touch. 20 carries, 113. 19 carries, 89 and a touch. The man is a marvel. The man is a monster. I'm wearing his shirt right now for a reason, which you can buy. Link in the description, about 3rd item down. Highest missed tackle rate by any running back with a minimum of 50 outside rushes since 2016. Bucky is baking. This was December 4th, by the way, as he's still tallying up, yardage. But I wanted to show this because it's just crazy. The amount of tackles that this guy breaks. This is Christian McCaffrey meets Marshawn Lynch. When you watch Bucky run the ball, it's unbelievable how much he requires multiple players at a time to tackle him and slow him down. He's a wrecking ball. He is a top 5 running back. This is Christian McCaffrey meets Marshawn Lynch. You're either in or you're out. Don't come later and try and get on this train. The train's full.
Get buckied. Buckied.
All right, before I open up the phone lines, we'll do a draft as well tonight. We've got Hunter or RJ Harvey at the 1.11 in Dynasty Superflex, or trade the 1.11 for Bucky. I like all of this, but I'm going to prefer Bucky, as I just alluded to earlier. I think it was whoever asked me the question. If you threw Bucky into the 2025 rookie draft, I'm taking Genty, then I'm taking Bucky. I love Harvey. I want him to find a way to get Harvey. He's a top 6 to 10 running back this year and a top 10 running back for Dynasty. I don't care if he's 24 years old. It also depends on what quarterbacks are there at 1.11, though, because you really should be looking at QB there if the right QB fell. But I want Bucky to the moon. Of course, I'd take Genty over him, as I just said, but I'd take Bucky Irving all day long. Rank Kyron, Brown, and Irving. I think you know by now, Zerb, where Bucky ranks on this. Kyron and Brown is tough. I would probably say give me Kyron over Brown in redraft. Call them pretty damn even in Dynasty because of the mileage and the amount of work that Kyron's taken on already. It makes me want to say that he's a little bit riskier if he's not cuffed for like 2-3 years downstream. But I'm not worried this year. I'm not worried much for next year. And I think he gets a contract extension to prove how much he is the future running back in LAR for as long as he can stay healthy. But make sure you cuff him. I'd probably say in redraft Kyron. In Dynasty, it's a very, very close call. Bucky, obviously, you know how I feel about Bucky. Trade Bucky for 1.3. Didn't we just get this? It's done. Traded Bucky. Okay, you're just asking. Or you tell me you got it done. Okay. Traded Bucky for the 1.3. Traded Bucky for the 1.3. Do you mean you traded for Bucky? Because right here you're saying you traded Bucky for the 1.3. You're saying you just traded. That's what this message says anyway. I think you mean the other way around. Nice work. Nice work if you acquired him. In that message, you just traded him away. But that's all right. That's all right. Phone lines are open. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in to the Attic.shop phone lines, ladies and gentlemen. That number is on screen. I'm waiting for you. Dial in. And we will get into a draft here shortly. So let me see if I can get the phone line. Yeah, the phone line's working. Jump into a puppy. Click on the Underdog app right now. If those of you don't have the Underdog app, click it right here. Here's the link. If you don't get in my draft, it's okay. Just draft alongside using the process, but click the Originals tab, then click on the active drafts and the lobby, and then just go ahead and jump in the puppy draft. You can sort by clicking on those little tabs. Click on NFL, and you'll see puppy. We'll get into the 20-second drafts. So file on in, jump in to the puppy draft right now. They fill quickly, so if you don't get in again, don't fret. We sometimes do too. Let me go over to the 503 caller. 503, you're live. What is your name and where are you calling from?
What's up, Smitty? I've called you before back in like 2022, so it's been a minute, but I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
What's up, my boy?
How we doing, man?
We're good.
The last time I dialed you, I made some trades in my redraft, and that was when we were big on Breece Hall in his rookie year, and I really liked your take on him and ETN and those guys in that 2022 season. So I've been following along since then, man, and I like your content. But nonetheless, I just had a quick question.
All right.
You're at that 6th spot, and I know best available is the biggest, what you should do. I'm finding myself between like CeeDee Lamb, sometimes Jay Jettis falls there, and then reaching for Ashton Genty or Jahmyr Gibbs. So I was wondering what you would think.
Yeah, I'll talk it through. What pick was it? At 6 or 7? 6. Okay. 6 is on the clock right now, so I'll walk you through that. Just hang tight real quickly. By the way, I always get here it is. I get the 12 pick. 11, 10, or 12. I always get when we do a draft. It's insane. So 6 is on the clock right now. CeeDee Lamb's my favorite if it's going to be wide receiver heavy at that range. I don't mind JJ. I don't mind Neighbors, of course. I like any one of those wide receivers when it's wide receiver heavy. If it's running back heavy, then honestly, bro, I mean, if I assume Gibbs is gone, I assume Bijan's gone, I assume Barkley's gone, I'm not afraid to take Genty there if it's a running back heavy environment. But it just depends on that and the factors. That factors into whether I think I can get a London in round 2 from that same draft slot. So the 6th pick would give you the 19 pick. More than anything, I tend to lean on like the CeeDee Lamb because then I know I can get Bucky or Kyron. If it's a non-best ball draft, Kyron goes in round 2 versus round 3 more often than not. And then that leaves me very flexible for round 3. The worst thing you can do is put yourself in a position where you're forcing yourself to draft a position. Like the super chat earlier, like I'm going to go RB. It's okay to go RB when it falls right, but don't force RB. So if you go, let's say, Ashton Genty at 6, and then now the wide receivers are getting gobbled up and you force it, well, I need a wide receiver, then you're walking away with a lesser team than you should have had. You're making a bad choice.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so that was my biggest question because in the round, my second pick in the second round, I usually get a combo of Bucky, A-Chain, or sometimes occasionally Josh Jacobs would be the back to fall there. And then receivers are fairly well. I just don't know how I feel about the second round receivers at their ADP.
Well, if you feel that way about your draft, then Lamb and Genty and all those that's all very even. That's why I can say I can go Lamb or Genty because best player available, they're both neck and neck. So when things are neck and neck, you lean toward what do you expect? How is it going to look? What's the lay of the land? that all factors into best player available. Best player available is not just the top ranked player left on the board. It is you consume everything that you can, and it's like, hey, the way the board's going to look, like this guy took Puka here. He's got a choice of all these RBs, JT, Bucky, Kyron, Breece Hall, whatever he wants to do here. Wide receivers are T. Higgins. I like Garrett Wilson here, though. If you were to go Garrett Wilson in round 2 or London, and you're sure you can get those guys from that 19 pick, this guy just took Bowers, I'm fine going, Gibbs or Genty with Garrett Wilson there. But do I think Lamb and Bucky's better? Yes. So Lamb and Bucky. Do it live.
Absolutely. Got you.
All right, man.
Well, I appreciate you, man. I'm going to keep watching. Thank you.
All right, later. Don't give up on Breece Hall. This year's going to be a big year. Later, bro. Travis, you're live.
Yeah, I was like a little bit late on Bucky. I had a chance to trade for him in one of my leagues after. He really was only after that first big week he had 81 and a touchdown, week 6. Then he had a few down weeks before he exploded. I didn't pull the trigger then. I guess I wasn't really late on him, but admittedly I was a little hesitant whether or not he was going to get enough work. But now that we see him getting the work, one thing to talk about, just because a guy doesn't jump off the page in terms of, your speed or, blow a combine away or something like that. If you look at him and he's got those yards after contact, all that stuff, those are like...
Attaboy, really MJ. Attaboy, MJ.
So I'm not like a data geek or obsessed with data. They can be really good, like predictors to help you.
Yeah, I love when people think I'm not a
fucking.
Yeah, I love when people think I'm not a data guy. Like, hey, Smitty does. I know you're. They'll call in and be like, I know you're not a data guy, Smitty. I know you don't like looking at all that stuff. And it's just, what are you talking about? It's just, I go live so much. I can only produce so much prepared data, like to put on screen. I have boards full of things whenever I'm talking about a player. Bucky, like, tell me I don't have data on the screen. Of course I do. But because I ramble so much, I can't, you need to hear it. Plus, gut instinct's more important than data. When somebody says, yeah, I'm not a big, eye test guy, but I'm really good at data, it's like, oh my God, you're going to follow that guy into the heat of battle? What I do is my gut instinct tells me something, and then I don't go cherry picking. That's the part that took many years to get good at for me. Let me draft real quickly. I've got HN, BT, J. Let's go Breece Hall. And is it too early to go Harvey here at 4.1?
Will it be gone by the time he comes
of course he will. He's the fourth running back down. I don't want to get people. I'm almost thinking anywhere around 4. I don't want people moving them into 3, but I feel like anywhere around 4, it's not crazy. So my team is BTJ, HN, Breece Hall, and Harvey. I like it. I think anywhere as your fourth drafted player makes sense. Because if he's going to go at 4.9, 4.8, I'm taking him 4.1. I just don't care. Not from the 12 spot. If I was, like, let's say in the middle of a round and I think I could squeeze it out, I would, but there's zero chance he's going 24 picks. And it doesn't mean I force him just because he's going 24 picks, or he can't go 24 picks, but I'm still taking him in his round. So I don't think it's that crazy. But anyway, back to what I was saying about data. I don't cherry pick data, meaning this is where I think it gets really, really confusing for people, is if you're a gut-driven guy and then you go looking for data, it's very easy to talk yourself into something and make anything look good. And that's what took years and years for me to do. If I like a guy, I will honestly and unbiasedly look at data, and once it supports my gut instinct, then I mean, I'm not even saying I don't look at data ahead of time on stuff too, but I'm just saying if I'm researching a guy, like when I'm doing rookie stuff and I'm watching film, I'll a lot of times I'll watch the footage, every play I can get my hands on of a player before I deep dive into some stats that might change my mind. And then if I go in there and I don't like what I see, it will back me off. If I go in and I like what I see, I know my gut instinct was right. And that drives me more than anything. So yes, I am more of a gut instinct guy than data, but I bring so much data to the table. It's so funny when people say that about me. But anyway, yeah, go ahead real quick.
I think it's important to use data. I never really agree with the idea of these people that only will say, well, the data shows this, so I can't write them off because the data says it. Like, I don't agree with that part of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy when people, I see people all the time say things like, I don't really know this, but I know data. It's like people send me something on that. Scott says Smitty needs sleep. Why do you think I need sleep, Scott? Please enlighten me. I have no idea what you're even talking about. You need sleep. You need to be in a timeout, Scott. Will that help you get some shut eye? Genty finishes number 1, says BBQ. BBQ. You know what? Forget it. It's okay. If I've got it on the board. We were saying that nothing of my 3 picks can be used just because I quarantined the 3 players. It's not that I can win the contest or anything, but we were going to take the 3 players off the board. But BBQ's going to play one upper and grab it. It's okay. Since I can't win, it's not a big deal. So BBQ with a $50 hauler prediction. He wants to predict that Genty's the running back 1 overall.
$50. Give me $50 holler.
All right, hold on 1 second. Let me make these picks, and then Ron is on the phone. I'm going to take Mahomey with this pick. He's a top-ranked quarterback available. Man, I want to go Trey Henderson there. I want to pick him. I want to pick him. Debo's been my go-to. Sam Laporta's fantastic. It's between these guys. I can't go Trey. I want to go Trey, but I'm going to go Debo. I need another wide receiver. What are you going to say, Travis?
Yeah, that would have been reason not to take Harvey. You could have scooped Trey.
Yeah, but who would I would have got instead of Harvey? Mike Evans, Devontae Smith. I could have got Travis Hunter, but I'm happy with it. I'd rather have Harvey and Debo than Hunter and Hendy, probably by a hair. Real quickly, Ron Naby's on the phone. Ron, what was your prediction the other day? Ron?
What was my prediction?
Yeah, you gave me one and I didn't put it on the board, and so I forgot. It was a bold prediction. Does anybody remember what Ron's prediction was? Ron, you don't remember? Oh, it was something like that. It was something like that. It might have been.
No, the cousin talking about the videos that you did to last year.
5:24. This is BBQ. Genty, running back 1. Yeah, sorry, Ron. I should have wrote it down when you gave it to me. But if you think of it, let me know, or if you want to do a new.
Well, can't we? What show was that? We can do that.
What show was that? According to my calculations, Ron. I don't know. If I knew that, I wouldn't be asking you. 1,500 yards rushing, 300. It was show 7,455. Thank you, BBQ. I love the prediction, bro. Love the prediction. I want to say it was a quarterback. Travis might be onto something. I don't know if it was Cousins, but it sounds really familiar. Ron, I don't know if you were here during the show where we went through all the misses, because so many people had bold predictions last year. We had like 5 or 6 of them land out of like 50 or whatever that were out there. And you had like 7 of them that were just out of this world, bro. They were like, They were like, it was who was the backup last year? Bajent in Chicago. Yeah, Bajent was going to start. You know, there was like 10, 12 games. You had like a Roman Wilson would be a top 10 receiver. You had all your sleeper like underdog guys. It was funny when we were going from. They were bold ones. They were bold, crazy. He was in his bag last year. Like, I think everybody should try and land it because we only had 5 people competing. Mahomes, HN, Brees Hall, Harvey, BTJ, Debo. I'm going to probably go Igbuka with one of these. I love Igbuka this year. So I'll let that one time out. And then do I go Cam Scattaboo or Charbonnet or Kyler as a backup? Or do I go... I think I'm going to swing big with Charbonnet.
Running.
I know. And
if you want to take a big shot, you're good at running back.
Well, I'm good at receiver. I'm good at receiver.
A different draft than you are.
All right, so I'm going to go with that. All right, so my team's pretty good so far. I'm liking it. It's Mahomes, HN, Hall, Harvey, Charbonnet, BTJ, Debo, and Buka. So not bad. All right, what else you got, Ron?
You gifted.
Who did gift him memberships?
I got Daniels, Gibbs, Montgomery, JSN, Debo, and Rock Valley.
Nice. BBQ, 20 gifted memberships. Wow. BBQ, 20 gifted memberships. Man of the hour.
Alert. Super chat alert.
$50. Give me 50.
Where's Denny? This is too late for Denny. Denny fell asleep. I'm sure. He calls me like randomly in the studio. For those that don't know, Ron, I don't know if you heard the news, but I decided that the Dynasty channel is no more. The Dynasty content will be created on this channel. But the Dynasty channel didn't go away. I've just changed it to Fantasy Football Unplugged. So if you're subscribed to the old Dynasty channel, you're already subscribed to Fantasy Football Unplugged. But it just makes no sense. At the end of the day, as much as I want to create two big, every live stream or video I would have done on the Dynasty channel will now be on the main channel. So it's not like I'm taking any content away from the main channel. It's just going to have more content on it. And there's going to be the second row on my YouTube. If you scroll down on my YouTube, my second row will be all Dynasty content. So that's where you can find it. But Fantasy Football Unplugged is the old Dynasty channel. And it's going to be like a Dog the Bounty Hunter meets Keeping Up with the Smitties meets The League. And that's where all the sitcom shows will actually air on. But it'll be an awesome behind-the-scenes look. Like, for example, I've accumulated all this Aaron Rodgers content as I'm waiting for this man to freaking announce it. So, like, when it does go down, you're going to see an accumulation of how long it's taken, me at Disneyland thinking that I'm going to have to go live on it. So, like, things like that will be very entertaining. But it also will provide the fantasy football insight and takes in the midst of all the content. So there'll be like fantasy information like in it too. So it's gonna be the best of both worlds. But like Denny calls into the studio randomly when I'm not even live, like stuff like that will be on this. Where Denny calls in, he's like, Smitty! On the phone line. You're gonna get a lot of behind the scenes. It's gonna be great. You'll love it. I promise. If you're not subscribed to the channel, just go down on my main YouTube page to the bottom if you're on my YouTube homepage, and you'll see the other channel. It'll say Fantasy Football Unplugged, and just click it. And if you're on that channel and you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the Fantasy Football Show. So you can always find both channels and kind of like it's like a door between the two of them. Anyway, Ron, what else you got?
It wasn't that I thought Cousins was going to go to New Orleans, is it?
I don't think that was it. Kelsey's on the board. I'm going to take Kelsey as my number one tight end. Plus, I got Mahomes, so got that taken care of. And then the next pick, I don't know what to do here. kind of like Bo Nix here. And I've got Harvey. It's kind of an interesting. I'm going to go Bo Nix.
I was like, yeah.
I like it.
Cousins went to pitch.
A cheap bowl. What's that? Is that Bruce? How did Bruce get in here? Oh, I think I added him a while ago. Bruce, my guy, you're live. What's up?
You draft two people, like if Bowers and Genty are highest player. Let's say I took Genty. Would you take Brock Bowers saying, hey, he's the highest player ADP-wise, but during sticky situations?
I don't think I'm opposed to having both of them because they're such a focal point of their offenses, but you could get into a spot where you're getting one to blow up and the other not. It's possible. Just because the offense is led by Geno Smith, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm not scared of it in like best ball and like one-off situations. If you play in your home league, your buddy league, your grandma league, your mom's league, whatever, and it's like your favorite league and you got one shot, to miss your opportunity, mom spaghetti. I'm feeling like, I don't know. I think they're so elite. I don't think I'm worried about it, but just make sure you're drafting some safe players around them. Maybe it might change my best player available mentality and kind of shape up the remaining picks. Like I might not be taking a bunch of risky plays. I want to have a lot of talent around them. So I guess it's better in best ball, more, and especially weeklies. But I don't know. There's pros and cons to it, and honestly, I don't think anybody really knows how the offense is going to look. It very well could be Brock Bowers explodes in yards no matter what, and Genty, every game is 100 yards and a touchdown, so it might not matter at all. It's a good question. We don't know what the offense is. It's a new offense. Everything's new.
I'm not worried about Bowers.
Yeah, I think they're both going to be ultra consistent. Since they're both going to be ultra consistent, you're rarely going to have bad games. But I will say, if you guys remember when I did that all Kansas City Chief team, that expert draft, it wasn't a best ball. But, oh no, I did do it in best ball too, and it didn't work. But in non-best ball, usually when you have too many players on one team, it's not a good thing. People carry over the stacking, desires of stacking into redraft, non-best ball. It almost always is not a good thing. The only time it will be good is if you're getting like a Chase and Burrow, because 9 times out of 10, no matter what the game script is, they're going to be blowing up, But it is not a good thing to stack, a whole team of players. If you drafted a Burrow, Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins team in non-best ball, I guarantee you're going to have some big L's. And so you're going to be pushing it to make the playoffs. And if you do, you could have a string of games and win the whole thing. But you will be surprised if you had your whole team filled with that squad, how much you would not score like you think you would. We tried it one time. It did not work. And it was a year the KC Chiefs did pretty well. It was a year I drafted, I think it was Tyreek Hill, it was Mahomes, it was Kelsey. I had the whole squad, Damian Williams. I had the entire team, and it was like 8 wins. It didn't make the playoffs. It was crazy. I was really shocked because they all balled pretty well.
Was it, Smitty?
What?
Was it that Burrow breaks the touchdown record, single season touchdown record?
Yeah, that might have been it. That might have been it.
Oh.
That could have been it, Ron.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to time out on Kyle Williams, which I'm very happy about. I'm fine with that. I need another wide receiver. And I'm going to go Jalen McMillan because I got Ibuka. So my team is looking really solid at wide receiver. I got Mahomes and Nix. I got Achane, Breece Hall, Harvey, Sharps, BTJ, Debo, Ibuka with McMillan, and Kyle Williams as well, and Kelsey. Nailed it. Okay, Burrow 50 TDs. Ron, that was it?
No, I said Burrow breaks the season record TD.
Oh, so how many is it?
Give a number.
Yeah, give me a number.
I think it was
what, 55 or something like that?
I thought it was 54, but maybe 55.
Whatever the record is,
All right,
I
hold on, let's
think
ask
that he fixed the record.
Kruger, what is the touchdown record regular season in the NFL? Come on, Kruger. You're interrupting yourself every time you're talking, Kruger. Go ahead. We didn't hear you.
All right, got it.
Kruger, stop interrupting yourself. Go.
My bad. The regular season record for the most total touchdowns by a player is held by LaDainian Tomlinson, who scored 31 touchdowns in the 2006
You was
season.
the quarterback.
Quarterback. Sorry, quarterback.
Come on, Drew.
That was me.
No worries. The single season touchdown pass record for a quarterback is held by Peyton Manning, who threw 55 touchdown passes in the 2013 season.
Okay, so 56 TDs. Ron Navy.
Who was it that had it? Manning or?
Peyton Manning.
Manning. Yeah, 55. Manning.
Yeah.
Brady has 50.
Yeah.
Mahomes died. Brady, 50 1 year.
Yeah. Watching the show with the live games going on is so amazing. Blew me away. No commercials. Great content. Get sniped. Best money you will spend to support the show and community. Thank you, BBQ, for dropping the additional $10 hauler. Here's your moonshot.
To the moon.
Appreciate it, BBQ. I'm liking this team so far. We're swinging back around in round 13. I like this squad. Egbuka McMillan feels really good. I'm going to make a prediction here soon. It'll be, I mean, I got him already on, is it the Moon Man list?
The Moon Men. Dropping
Is it
loads
Mars?
in outer space.
He's on a shuttle to Mars. Mars man.
Where's Egbuka?
The Saturn Men.
One small step for man.
Oh my, did I delete him?
The
I
Moon
know he
Man.
was on here once.
Dropping loads in outer space.
Not mid-season monster.
No.
Oh.
Okay, we'll have to make
Space
it
no sense.
official. It's okay. Egbuka, we'll make it official. I'll do a video on it. I'll leave it off right now, actually, and just come back to it. But I think Egbuka is going to be, I've already said he's going to be the number one drafted Bucks receiver this time next year for the 2026 season, meaning he's going over Evans. You know, it's going to be, but not only that, I think he's going to be a top 14 wide receiver or top 12 wide. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I want to put him in 12 because that makes him the wide receiver one. We got a lot of mouths to feed to get into that top 12, but I'll figure out how bold I'm going to get before I increase in the boldness as we move toward the event. Real quickly, I got to draft I'll go Dylan Sampson here because I'm going to time out and I don't want to get timed out on a guy I don't want. Wide receiver. I like Pat Bryant and I've got Bo Nix, so I'm going to go take a gamble on that. Looks like we got, 4 picks left? So I've got Dylan Sampson, Charbonnet, Harvey, Breece Hall, Achane, Mahomes, Bo Nix, Mahomes cuffed to Kelsey. I've got Pat Bryant cuffed to Bo Nix. I have Debo, Egbuka cuffed to McMillan, Kyle Williams, and then obviously BTJ. I like the squad. But yeah, Egbuka is going to be amazing. I think Egbuka is the kind of player that I don't think you're going to be able to hold him back. And especially with Godwin not likely to be ready for week 1 from what we're hearing, there is going to be no relinquishing the starting lineup. Even if Godwin goes in and they use Egbuka in the slot, he's staying on the field. Like, nothing's going to change for him. He's going to line up all over the place. But Egbuka is the one wide receiver in this class that I think invites the most contact. He's the most NFL ready, and he's the most dynamic. Egbuka is going to knock everyone's socks off. I'm not saying he'll be BTJ because BTJ was wide receiver 4, but I think it'll be a version of that, oh my God, I can't believe what everybody missed, and he is going to be unreal. And I wouldn't be shocked if he was taken where JSN is being taken right now and has Jackson Smith and Jigba's value that he has right now in 2026. That's how good Ibuka's 2025 rookie campaign will be. He will be valued as high as JSN is right now next year, which will be a third rounder.
Point you made with JSN, how JSN is used to being in committees and fine with other receivers around. He did it at Ohio State. Ibuka did the same exact thing. He had all the Olave, Marvin Harrison, Wilson, those guys, JSN, all of them around him. And, you know, they're still playing and producing while they were. Yeah.
I can't wait. And drafting Ibuka in best ball is crazy value. Look at this value up here. Set round 7, 8 turn. Love it. I mean, essentially 8. You know, it took him a little early too. So you're talking like mid-8th round, 8th drafted player. That's crazy. It's crazy. Mike says, I'll take T-Mac over Ibuka. You would. You would, Mike. You would. No one's doubting you would. Oh, I'm on the clock. Hold on. No one's going to doubt that for a second, Mikey. Oh, no. Mason Taylor, I'm going to time out. I just had to take him. I don't think I got a backup tight end anyway, so that's fine. That's good. I'm going to go. What do I need here? What do I need? I need a... I'll go Yoshi Voss. There you go. Okay. How many picks do I have left? 17, 18, 2 more. So quarterback, tight end, I'm fine. Okay, so Yoshi Voss rounds out my wide receiver room. Very, very good 17, 16, 18 round player. He's bulking up. He's the clear number 3 in Cincinnati. Burton's going to, carry his coffee and his water bottle. So, love that. Probably another repeat of 5-6 touchdowns this year for Yoshi Voss. Easy. All right, boys. Anything else? I'm probably not going to... Bruce, final thoughts.
If Aaron Rodgers says he's not playing, what are the chances the Steelers pick up the phone for Kirk Cousins?
I think probably... I'll let Ron answer this after I answer because I'm interested to hear what he thinks. But I think they're going to listen, but at the same time, I don't know. I think it's hard to say because there's a lot of moving parts here. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going anywhere but Pittsburgh. I don't think he's going to Minnesota. He's trolling people. Is it possible he could go to Minnesota? Yes, if there's something wrong with McCarthy. If McCarthy suffered a setback, which doesn't appear to be the case right now, it's all trending in a good direction. But there's some worry about him being ready. He's just not picking it up. They're excited about his rehab. They're excited about everything. But I've been telling everybody from the beginning that there's something wrong going on. There's something not being talked about because they're not calling him the starter. And there's zero reason to do that. You're not sparking a fire under him or anything. There's no quarterbacks on the roster that are even deemed worthy to be a backup, let alone the starter. So it doesn't make sense that you'd be lighting a spark under your rookie. He's going to have essentially his rookie season over, redo. Why would you try and spark any doubt? It's not a smart strategy at all. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing that makes sense is that they're worried about something. So I guess in that context, there's still an open door, and that would be the reason they would bring Aaron Rodgers in, but I don't think that's going to be the case right now. I think it's leaning toward Pittsburgh. I don't think Aaron Rodgers hangs it up unless he's going through a lot of tough times with people in his inner circle. He's not going through it, but a lot of people are ill in his inner circle right now, and he's dealing with that. So prayers up to the people in his life and him. I'm gonna go Milrow here. I'm gonna draft Milrow here, and then the next player that I'm gonna draft is gonna be a tight end. So I'm gonna grab, because I have Kelsey, I'll grab Noah Gray. I do that always to grab them together and cuff them. Yeah, is something wrong? Yeah.
He has
Bye.
all this stuff going on, but he has time to go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah, true. How bad can things be if you're
dead?
Yeah, but I mean that it's a good point that like he should be able to come back and play football if he's able to do that. I don't know, we'll see. But Aaron Rodgers, keep in mind, Aaron Rodgers is waiting for June 1. It's like looking back, it's very hindsight, it's very 2020, but it's like, yeah, we should have thought about that rather than thinking. Anyway, so to answer the question, Kirk Cousins, if Aaron Rodgers decided to retire, I think they would have some intrigue in Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins would then be going into a situation he wanted to avoid, which was Will Howard's drafted there. You know what I mean? Like, what if they took Kirk Cousins and then they drafted Will Howard? That would have stung. So it doesn't sting if you're sliding in later? I don't know. I kind of think the Steelers really want Will Howard to develop.
But there's no pressure to start Will Howard because he was drafted so late in the draft. There's no pressure to start him.
Yeah. Peanut Butter says he's got to waive his no trade clause. Yeah, obviously, but he wants to go start somewhere. So if the Steelers were going to say, hey, we'll bring you over to start, he would waive it. He wouldn't even hesitate. I don't know, Bruce.
Oh, I'm talking about Will Howard.
No, I'm talking about the comment. Hard to say, bro.
20%.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. I would say 75% sure that we find out within a week. And once we do, the first episode of Fantasy Football Unplugged will air. If I don't do an introductory episode on Fantasy Football Unplugged anyway, I might do an introductory episode. But if this happens as quickly as I think, I'll be able to wrap that sucker up and post the first video on Fantasy Football Unplugged. So get ready for that. Let me go. Bruce, anything else before I cycle the phone line off?
No. The only thing is to get buckied.
Get buckied. All right, bro. We'll see you later.
Get buckied.
Where's my pin? All right. Rock out. You're calling in at the end of the show, but I always let you in because you got a Marsman card, young man. What is it? What's your final thought? Your first thought and final thought.
Can I give you my rookie team?
Sure.
All right, quarterback, Joe Burrow. Tua, running back, Genty, Tyler Williams, Montgomery, Swift, Sampson, Merritt, wide receiver, Nicholas Collins, Hunter and Buka, Kyle Williams, Pat Bryant, Michael Wilson, tight end, Kelsey, Goddard, Gregg.
I like it, bro. It's a good team. Corey Krosky Merritt. I forgot to draft him in this draft. I always forget because he's so low. You got to go target him, and I totally spaced on it. But I was already on RB spots anyway. But maybe I would have taken him over Yoki.
Early.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Good team. Rock out. Anything else?
I think Bucky's going to explode and be in that top 4 range.
Yeah, buddy. For sure. Get buckied. We'll get
one more question.
Yeah.
One more question. If someone's like super sniping you, like one pick for you, like multiple times, what do you do to like adapt to it?
If you're Ron, you scream and yell and slam the phone down, and then you start sniping and ruining your entire draft trying to get back at him. That's what Ron will burn $5 on that, no problem. He didn't care. I personally, you just gotta do the best you can. I mean, the way I look at it, bro, is kind of like when you get a speeding ticket. You got to say to yourself, maybe that cop prevented me from getting in an accident a mile down the road. You know what I mean? Like I would have gotten in a head-on collision and been put in the ground if that cop didn't pull me over. Like you got to look at it. So if someone's sniping you, maybe you would, you know what I would say? Do something you wouldn't normally do. in that draft that would with the next pick that would make you have some sort of variance from your trends and things. That's what I would say. Just like when someone makes a very bad trade and they're like, I made a bad trade, I shouldn't have done that. I always tell them, do something next that you normally wouldn't do, and you'll make up. Somehow you'll fall into something better.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Later.
Appreciate it.
Later.
All
right. MM says, who's better draft pick, Bryce Young or Penix Jr.? Penix Jr. by a mile, bro. I like Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young a lot. I'm rooting for him for sure. He's got heart. He's got determination. His team is trying to turn things around. But Penix Jr. plays in a high-octane aerial attack that's going to run the hell out of the ball. When all things are even close, and they're not really, Penix Jr. is a better quarterback. He's a gunslinger, bro. He's a 4,000-yard quarterback. But Penix Jr., when all things are even close or even or not close, whatever, what offense is going to be scoring massive amounts of points? I'm not saying that the Carolina Panthers can't play well, or surprise, but it's not even close for me. Not even close. Penix Jr. is going to ball out. All right, final thoughts, Ron Navy.
Yeah, hold on. I'm taking my last pick here.
Rogers' heart isn't in it, says BBQ with the $10
to the moon.
Holler, appreciate you for dropping that. And he also says that if you have taken this long and can't commit, I'm going to sign with you, speaks volumes. Tomlin always says he wants volunteers, not hostages. And and here we are. But Tomlin's not like, normally you'd expect Tomlin to be saying something along the lines of like, we're drafting as if, he's not here, but Tomlin's like hanging around and acting kind of out of sorts. I think Tomlin's like just waiting on, begging Aaron Rodgers to come the way it feels. It's weird because Tomlin normally doesn't feel like he's going to wait around for someone like this. But the other thing too, though, is again, it's kind of, for me, it's about June 1. I think he just doesn't want to be there for the early work. And if he doesn't step up June 1 or right before June 1, then we know that his heart isn't in it. But I think he's strategically not coming until June 1 no matter what, so he doesn't care. So I don't know.
Those reps in the OTAs are important to build chemistry. I mean, he's only thrown to DK. He hasn't thrown to anybody else, but he has no chemistry build up team whatsoever.
June 1, it's ridiculous if he's going to wait till after. So we'll see BBQ. I think his heart's in it. Maybe if he returns, his heart will be in it. I don't think he's going to go out there and not give it his all. I think that's the problem, is he wants to make sure he's good to go. Like, I don't respect how long he's taking, but I do think that if he decides to play, it will be kind of a fun thing to watch. I got to admit. Seeing him with DK and a team that continuously makes the playoffs and him thinking, okay, I can be that difference maker. I'm not saying he will be, but I think it'll be fun to watch. They got a good group of running backs. I can't stand Arthur Smith, but I don't know. Anyway, Penix says rushing upside 2. Double M. I don't know what makes you think Penix Jr. is not running.
Problem is we're going into the year again without a wide receiver too.
You don't like Calvin Austin for some reason. I know you say he's too small. I disagree. I think Calvin Austin could be good. They just need to use him. I don't know that they'll use him though. I like him.
I like him, but he's a number 3, not a number 2.
He's been number 3, but that doesn't mean he should.
I think he's like Mario Douglas on the Patriots, where he can be a fine number 2. You'd much rather someone else be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I like Calvin.
Yeah, I don't think he's a valid number 2.
I don't know that he will be. I think
that's what we had Ron last year.
I think you guys misuse him.
Along with the quarterback. So what's going on? They're waiting on the number 2, waiting last minute on the number 2.
But Ron, I disagree. I disagree with that. I like Calvin.
If we end up, I bet you, if we end up with a receiver, it's got to be approved by Rodgers. So it'll be somebody like Dobbs or somebody from Green
Randall
Bay.
Cobb, Jordy Nelson.
Yeah,
I like Calvin Austin though. I disagree on that one, but we'll see what happens. They almost don't.
I just don't think he's a 2. I think
He hasn't been because they don't use him. That's why I say I don't know that I'll be proven right because this team doesn't appear to want to use him. I like him a lot. I think.
Listen, we don't know what we got yet because he spent all last year on the injured reserve.
Calvin's better. All right, boy.
I know Roman Wilson, but we don't know what he is.
Anything else, Ronnie?
But I do know that we're going to end up. Yeah, we're going to end up in the toilet. We're going to end up in last place this year.
Yeah, I have you losing the division. Let me go over.
We're probably going to end up behind the Browns. That's hard to do.
Oh, I do have the Browns winning 6 and you winning 8, but I think you very much could be last in the division. Sure. I think it depends how quick Shador gets in the lineup. If Shador gets in early, he's gonna have this nice 7-8 win season. And then the Steelers could drop below 6 or whatever. They really could. It depends on this whole Aaron Rodgers thing.
Now, here's one thing: is they got 4 quarterbacks now. What are they going to do? They got Flacco, they got Shador, they got Pickett, and they got the other rookie. So,
Gabriel isn't
maybe New Orleans.
Gabriel isn't a quarterback.
Come
on,
New Orleans.
Gabriel's not a quarterback. It's a ball boy. That guy is a ball boy. Gabriel. It's embarrassing that the Browns drafted Gabriel over Shador. Embarrassing. They should have taken a different player to help out the team. It's insane. He's not a quarterback. That guy will. If he makes the team, I will laugh all over the place. I'll just have a laughing fest.
That's the Browns for you.
Because he's a rookie and they draft him, they probably will keep him. All right, Ron. I'll see you later, bro. See you tomorrow.
All right.
Be live multiple times tomorrow.
Yeah,
Later. Travis, any final thoughts?
Yeah, just on Bucky. I guess this is more of like a dynasty long-term question. The fact that he isn't the Gibbs or Achan, where it's run a 4-3 and catch 75 balls out of the backfield. Essentially, I'm not saying Bucky can't catch passes, but that Bucky relies on that physical after contact work, and he is a little smaller. Does that worry you long term on him at all? I'm not saying he can't do it. He can. Your mind or
no? I'm not. I mean, ask me in 2 years. Maybe I feel like Kyron. Kyron might have one less year than a guy that maybe doesn't get abused. But Bucky's not getting abused though. He's kind of being used like Kamara in a way. I think he will continue to get just work all over the field, and his versatility makes him so easy to use all over the field. Baker trusts him, so there's probably going to be a lot more checkdowns. So this year, I think he'll look a lot. He'll be a 1,000-yard rusher, but I think he'll look a lot like Kamara in a sense. I think Bucky's gonna he's gonna have probably. I don't even know what. I projected. What did I project for him?
I just wonder.
Yeah, I don't think any different. I don't think I look at him any different than Kamara. If anything, like sometimes those guys can last longer if they use them right. And I don't feel like they abused Bucky. I mean, we only saw him get used. Like if I pull up let me pull up his game log. But I'll pull up his entire game log. Let me see.
I think the run Kamara was like, 20 pounds heavier than.
I mean, Bucky.
I'm not doubting, but I was just curious in terms of, it doesn't take a lot of contact. But,
Buck.
Maybe he doesn't take as much as I can.
I mean, he is listed at 185, but I think he's going to play more like 200. If he isn't already. And we just don't know how much he weighs. I think he'll be at that weight soon, if not this year. Like we might get a report says Bucky's gained 4 pounds, 5 pounds. He's playing at 201. But this usage right here, 47 receptions for 392. This touchdown number 0 is going to go to 3 or 4, in my opinion. A long of 42, a long of 56, 8 touchdowns on the ground, 5.4 a rip, 1122 on a mere 207 carries. So this is probably a 300 to 290 total touchback this coming season. And I think that his rushing numbers aren't going to be much more than 220. And the receptions could be in the 60s. So I think he'll be very Kamara-like. So in a way, I think he could last longer than the average running back if they use him like Kamara, which I think they probably are going to. But and I'm not saying he has to have 800, 900 yards. I think he could be 1,100 yards. Yeah, not worried at all.
How do you feel about Scott White potentially not being there after this year?
That was the opening. That was the opening. That was the opening of the video. Yeah, the whole. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like this pretty telling that Rachaad White before even June 1 is saying this is my final year. Well, what are you not liking right now internally? What are they telling you? Here, hold Bucky's jockstrap. Here, hold Bucky's water. Go get Bucky a coffee. Like, why are you putting that out there? Clearly, you know what's happening. Like, this is kind of why we did the show tonight. This is a telling piece of news. Without saying much, this tells you a lot that he wants out. He wants out. Guess what? Bucky's being given the king treatment. Bucky got his locker room. Or his locker.
I like that for Sean Tucker, too.
Yeah, Sean Tucker is a must cuff to Bucky. And I think on the cuff board, we are going to have to add, it's right here. It's going to rise. I think, Hampton and Najee, it's hard to I think that goes higher than it is just because if Hampton got injured and Najee went in, Najee would be really, really successful fantasy-wise. So it's really hard to not let these starters influence where and I've got to go through this board. I still haven't done it yet. It's very easy to see Gibbs and just want to put Gibbs 1. It's very easy to see Christian McCaffrey and feel like it's all about Garendo, this cuff board. It's all about Monty. It's all about Sharps. It's all about Benson. It's all about Scatterboo. It's about Dylan Sampson. It's about Sean Tucker. It's about Najee, Bigsby, and Tootin. It's not about the starters. So you can get very easily mixed up in that when you're ranking these cuff players. But I think that Tucker is going to be like down below this top 7 or 8, but it's going to be one of those like really awesome cuffs that could save your season. And Tucker is going to have some standalone value in very deep leagues, not in small rostered leagues, but Tucker's a great handcuff. If something happened to Bucky for 2 or 3 games, Tucker is the one that would get the Bucky work. I think. We'll see.
Tucker had 1 or 2 really nice games last year.
Yeah.
Let me sure I watched it again.
Yeah.
That's part I missed. Did you say whether or not you thought Scott White could be a post June 1 trade candidate?
I think he could. I mean, he could. I could see him and Etienne and Walker feel like the most likely 3 running backs to be traded.
Let me trade Walker go.
All right. See you later, my boy.
Thanks, buddy.
Later.
Bye.
All right, guys. Scat is on here. Scatterboo is on here, bro. All right. We'll see you all tomorrow. At least 2 live streams tomorrow. Doses. Live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Every single Monday through Friday. Live whenever news breaks and live graveyards about midnight Eastern every single night. So 3 potential live streams per day. Roger says you can disagree, but Bucky equals overrated. Oh no, Roger. You can disagree, but don't worry, Roger. We will. We will disagree, Roger. Don't you worry about that.
Take a big laugh. We don't need.
Hi, I'm worried William
Get buckied.
and my mommy
Buckied.
Hey, I'm Dom, and I drive fast cars, get hot chicks, and draft Ashton Genty double fist style with 2 cell phones at the same time. Why do I have 2 cell phones? One for looking up Ashton Genty stats all day, the other is for getting
But the continuum of the gigawatt component structure of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload divide has a megawatt offload that if you compartmentalize the component conjunction timekeeper and you flux capacitor out the continuum component megabolt, things just end up happening. And that's why Jahmyr Gibbs is a top 5 to 10 running back instead of top 6 to 10. Don't forget, I'll be on Patreon right now, guys. Live on Patreon right now, discussing whatever you want. So get in there. Those of you that don't have the link, here's the link. The link's in the description of every video, but we're going to Patreon right now. The same live chat room you see here, that same group of people pretty much, they funnel over to Patreon. I'll see you over there.